Okay, well, hello, friends of Sammy's open mic at the Glad Cafe, and here we are again for another of these online jobbies. But you can see the difference here is that Brycey and myself are sitting in the same room, and just to show this is not some trick of these computer gadgets. Look at that. Look at that.
Should really be a big sort of giant hand comes from some effects thing, but
we can actually touch each other, and that might be an improvement. Who knows? Anyway, full program for you tonight of very fine online entertainment. And how are we going to start off, Brycey?
Well, welcome back after the wee break. Hope you enjoyed your summer. So here we are starting again, and we've got the Bucks, and they're going to play Start Again. So here we go.
How appropriate.
I don't know if you can hear me. I'm feeling down and I can't think clearly. Even though it's complicated, we've got time to start again. I don't know if you can hear me. Some things I've changed, but it's too late. I take the past and make it straight. Even though it's complicated, we've got time to start again. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm sorry for the things I've said, but some thoughts just won't leave my head. Even though it's complicated, we've got time to start again. I don't know if you can hear me. Even though it's complicated, we've got time to start again. I don't know if you can hear me.
okay, isn't it nice things getting back to normal? The Bucks playing a Teenage Fan Club number. Yeah, how about that? And one of the lovely things about starting up again after the summer is seeing all these Kent faces, and hopefully before too long we might be able to see one another actually in person. But more of that later. First off, we have Michael Simons, and Michael is playing the classic guitar piece Angie. So and then after that, Swan.
After that, it's Fergus McNeil, and you'll remember a couple months ago we announced that Fergus had won an important national songwriting competition. So the song that won that was Blood Rush, which he has recorded at Abbey Road Studios, and he's going to launch that single by doing a gig at the Glad Cafe. So one of these in the flesh gigs, and it's going to be on the 6th of October. So you want to get tickets for that. The support act is Saskia Griffiths-Moore and her band, and Saskia is the person who sets up and runs that national competition that he won. So that'll be great. And Ferg is going to be backed by Donna McCotcha, who's a pal of the Glad, and James Mackay is going to be playing guitar with him as well. So that's a gig that you'll want to be at, 6th of October at the Glad, and I'm sure you get tickets online for Fergus. He's doing a song here called No Harbour, which is a song about one of these transportation prison ships that sank sometime in the 19th century, and they on its way to Australia, and of course they managed to get the passengers off, but they didn't bother about the prisoners who were sort of ballast in the bottom. And so that's the song. Now, I was actually a bit horrified when I saw that Fergus had sent this in, because Fergus is a very, very nice guy, and he'd actually sent it to me earlier and asked if I'd put some fiddle on it. So I said to Fergus, you will be able to find much better fiddle players than me. Even within the Bucks, I am not the best fiddle player. But I scraped some noise onto this track and sent it back and said, look, it's rotten. Don't feel you need to use it. And then I saw this was sent in, and the fiddle was actually on it. But luckily it's mixed very low. But here's Fergus McNeil, and Michael Simons first, and then Fergus. See for yourself.
Hello everybody at the Glad Cafe. I'd like to do an instrumental by Davy Graham that was played so often that people just stopped playing it. So I've decided to revisit it. This is called Angie.
On Portland Isle, they made us work 2 winters waiting for the ship, and this is what they promised us: a way to climb out of the pit. If we cut the stone from rock, if we labored hard and true, we could buy our freedom back in the new world, far beyond the blue. On Portland Isle, we cut the stone to build their harbour safe and strong. We worked until we broke our bones, where lash and labour settled wrong. In blisters and in bloodied skin, we overpaid the price of sin, all to buy our freedom back in the new world, far beyond the blue. A shelter, a harbour, a haven, a home. We labored for hope to make safety from stone. The perfect redemption, the purchase of blood. Over the ocean we sailed for rebirth. In 1834, from Woolwich docks did we depart, more than 200 convict souls, more than 100 crew and guards, and 14 died along the way, and many more did curse their lives, until we saw Van Diemen's Land, 12th of March, 1835. But the master's haste, it cost us dear. We foundered in the heavy sea, and while the innocents were saved, the prisoners were left beneath. For we lay locked down in the hold, and there 100 men did drown. Still in chains they met their fate, no mercy for the ill-renowned. No shelter, no harbour, no haven, no home. We labored for naught, spilling blood on the stones. The promise is broken in worlds old and new, lost in the ocean, condemned to no shelter, no harbour, no haven, no home. We labored for naught, spilling blood on the stones. The promise is broken in worlds old and new, lost in the ocean, condemned to the blue.
Lovely stuff from Fergus, and we should mention that John Sherman was playing the accordion on that track.
Thank you, John, for hiding my blushes.
I don't know if you follow Fergus on Twitter. He posted a photograph of him sitting on the steps of Abbey Road with a guitar, and I was thinking, like anybody could sit on the steps of Abbey Road with a guitar, but actually only some people get to go inside and record, so congratulations again to Fergus. We are equally admiring and envious. So this week we had the sad news that Nancy Griffiths had died, which at least to me was entirely unexpected. And Nancy, of course, is someone whose songs have featured again and again and again many times over the piece at Sammy's, and there's going to quite understandably be a number of Nancy songs in tonight's programme. The first of these is from Iona, who's doing a version of On Grafton Street. And then...
Yeah, Rachel and me sat the other day and listened to Ricky's programme on what the whole 2 hours was given over to Nancy. 2 hours of Nancy songs, and we were just sitting greeting during it. It's just so lovely, you know, Nancy. What, you know, she was so important to us. So after Aura, we're going to get the relatives, the first of a couple of numbers tonight, and you'll see by watching this film that the relatives have always been spending too much time down in the country because they've actually just turned into cartoon characters. It's I don't know, it seems to me sad, but you can decide yourself when you see it. And they're going to do their version of Here Comes the Sun. Yeah.
Which we learned as just a wee aside to play for Bruce. Now, Bruce DeHay, some of you remember Bruce used to come to Sammy's and has done a few numbers over the years there. And Bruce got married this summer in Istanbul to Emel. So hello to them if they're watching, and we wish them all the best. So it's Fergus, and then it's the relatives.
I don't know. Then it's the relatives. Yeah, we're getting old.
Oh dear. Okay. Iona, then Fergus, and
then something else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Christmas time, the elbows push you out. This is not my place of memories. I'm a stranger in this town. The faces seem familiar, and I know these songs they're playing, but I close my eyes and find myself 5,000 miles away. It's funny how my world goes round without you. You're the one thing I never thought I could live without. I just found the smile to think about you. You're a Saturday night far from that crowd. The buskers sing by candlelight in front of Billy's store, and a young nun offers me a chair at a table by the door, and I feel compelled to tell her of the sisters that we knew, how when they lit their candles I say a prayer for you. It's funny how my world goes round without you. You're the one thing I never thought I could live without. And I just found the smile to think about you. You're a Saturday night far from mad and crowd. Church bells ring for holy hour, and I'm back out in the rain. It's been 20 years or more since I last said your name. And I hear you live near Dallas now, in a house out on the plain. Why Grafton Street brought you to mind when I really can't explain. It's funny how my world goes round without you. Oh, you're the one thing I never thought I could live without. And I just found the smile to think about you. You're a Saturday night far from that crowd. Grafton Street at Christmas time, the elbows push you out. All I carry now are memories. I'm a stranger in this town.
Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. And I say it's alright. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. And I say it's alright. Little darling, the smiles return into their faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. And I say it's alright. Sun, 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 here comes. 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 Little darling, I feel that ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. And I say it's alright. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. And I say it's alright. It's alright.
So a cheery message from the relatives there. Here comes the sun. Next up, we've nothing this month has come through from your friend Billy Paul, but we've got an adequate substitute here. It's one of our other pals from down Greenock Way, and it's Billy O'Hara, Parrot, and Parrots appeared a couple of times at real Sammy's, but never so far on online Sammy's. So here he is making his debut, so big applause for Parrot, and he's doing a Tom Waits number, Cold Cold Ground.
And then we're following that up with a number. We got in touch with Biff Smith, who has sent us some things over the recorded piece, and said, how was he placed? And he said, he doesn't have anything.
He's moving house to Helensburgh, I think, so he's busy.
Why would you do that? But anyway, no, it's a lovely place, Helensburgh. But he said we could plunder the back catalogue, and so we have gone for one which Biff was willing to play one of his numbers without the safety of the rest of New International behind him, but doing the high wire by having the Bucks backing him. And not only that, it's just one of the big New International numbers, Tenterhooks. So it's Biff Smith and the Bucks doing Tenterhooks.
Cold Cold Ground, Tom Waits. Oh, crisp on the sidewalk in an old cafe. Never slept with a dream before it had to go away. There's a bell in the tower, Uncle Ray bought around. Don't worry about the army. Cold, cold ground. Cold, cold ground. Cold, cold ground. Nah, don't be a crybaby when there's wood in the shed. There's a bird in the chimney and a stone in my bed. When the road's washed out, they pass the bottle around and wait in the arm. Cold, cold ground. Cold, cold ground. Cold, cold ground. There's a ribbon and a willow, and a tie swing rope, and a briar patch of berries taken over the slope. The cat will sleep in the mailbox, and we'll never go to town till we bury every dream. Cold, cold ground. Cold, cold ground. Cold, cold ground. Give me a Winchester rifle and a whole box of shells. Blow the roof off the gold barn, let it roll down the hill. The piano is firewood, Times Square is a dream. I'll find if we lay down together. Cold, cold ground. Cold, cold ground. Cold, cold ground. Call the cops on the bread loaves, bring a Bible and a rope, and a whole box of Rebel and a bar of soap. Make a pile of strong tires and burn them all down. Bring $1 with you, baby. Cold, cold ground. Cold, cold ground. Cold, cold ground. Take a weatherman rooster, throw rocks at his head. Stop talking to the neighbors till we all go dead. Beware of my temper and the dog that I found. Drake all over the windows. Cold, cold ground.
It wouldn't have been better if I'd done it, but I want to get an art time you can compare them. Yeah, that's a great memory for me, that one, because we'd planned to do Tenterhooks, such a great number, and just as we're going up to do it, I noticed Biff walking in the Glad, you know, so we said, hey, do you want to go up and sing Tenterhooks? So presumably he was, you know, scared that we were going to totally rubbish it, which we did. But it was great singing such a great number with him. Okay, now we've got Lavinia Blackwell and her band Stilton, and Vinny and the band were playing at the Carbeth Huts Festival a couple of weekends back there, and we went along. It was fantastic. It was like it's a wee mini Woodstock, you know, all the sort of Carbeth Hutter types. It was a really hot sunny day all day. There was this fantastic music, Alex Rex, them, Carlton Jug Band. There was free food. There was a set of women coming around with tray bakes, Millionaire's shortbread, and Blackjack and me Rachel get several burgers and chicken bits and stuff. It was fantastic. Anyway, I filmed one of Vinny's songs, and it's Waiting for Tomorrow to Come. So a wee flavour of the Carbeth Festival.
That sounds great.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
I've
Brilliant.
just been there. And after that, we have, for the first time at Online Sammy's, and the first time at Sammy's for a couple of years anyway.
Round of applause.
We have Laura Hill and Ian Hill. And maybe the first time we've had them playing together, because they used to do their own things. Anyway.
I remember they did a couple together, yeah.
And they're doing a number, and I think, again, it's the first time I've ever been able to introduce a number by saying, originally made famous by Perry Como, but more recently made famous by Sam Hill, Laura and Ian's, one of Laura and Ian's wee boys. You remember we played that just before the summer. So I'd said to them, look, it would be so nice to hear from you two at Sammy's again. So they have kindly sent in a version of them singing that song.
Birds flying high, reeling magic in the air. Nearby beats with green of the year. Princess sits in an imaginary town, watches and waits with her answering gaze. Days passing by, beats a month before the year. Look how she's so good with the jewels of dreaming. Something will shake, sure as husbands ever on. The power of the mind will surely conquer all. Waiting, 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 waiting for tomorrow to come. Waiting, 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 waiting for tomorrow to come. Waiting, 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 waiting for tomorrow to come. Waiting, 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 waiting for tomorrow. Sweet as a kiss with his eyes flashing green. Electric good, you're gone for a queen. Fast and free from Madonna to the field. Oh, somewhere much greener on some other hill. So hard accepting how lucky you are. Good in the house, drifting on a poison star. Dust in the wind, savage feeling of the soul. Coming out your cold as tomorrow's fair snow. Waiting, 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 waiting.
Sammys. Thank you for having us. Sorry it's taken so long to contribute, but we thought after we featured our own little Sammy last time, that we really ought to do something. So not to be outdone by our 1-year-old, we thought we would sing the same song, our own version of And I Love You So. It's a song we've always sang as lullabies to both of our boys, and our oldest son, Ben, who's nearly 4, it always sends Ben to sleep. He never gets to the chorus. But with Sam, he always just wants to sing along. So we meant to record this before we left, so we're now in Kildare in Ireland, so and we've got Laura's cousin Anya doing the recording. So hopefully it passes the Sammy's quality test. Okay, here we go. And I love you so. People ask me how I've lived till now. I tell them I don't know. I guess they understand how lonely life has been. Life began again the day you took my hand. And yes, I know how lonely life can be. Shadows follow me. Thank you.
Lovely stuff, absolutely lovely. So one of the reasons that we got the Bucks together was because, or so that we could play great songs. Like before, Swan and Vicar and Rachel and I had a band where we did our own songs. And one of the things we learned about that was that we should play other people's songs because they're good. So just the job. It was great fun. It made us the people we are, of course, but
i.e. not musicians.
Not musicians, never knowingly called musicians. But the only thing about playing other people's songs is that they can sometimes be quite difficult, but nonetheless good fun to have a go at. And so this is in my view, one of the best songs there is. And certainly, if you're ever a dance or a party and it comes on, you just have to get up. And it was one of these songs I always fancy singing. So in a moment of ill-judged generosity, the band agreed to learn to play it. And if I remember correctly, Slam had just bought one of these new keyboard things that had a setting that allowed you to make the noise that you want, because just as we've come to rely on, Slam makes the noise you want. So Stevie Wonder's Superstition gets the Bucks treatment. And then
we've got Ali McCluskey, and Ali's brushed the dust off the pipes, and he's standing in a field somewhere, talking in a way that you can't understand what he's saying. And I think he's saying that he's about to play a march, a strathspey and a reel, but the names of them, I leave it to you to see if you can decipher. But Ali's going to play a competition set of pipe tunes. So, Bucks, Ali McCluskey.
Very superstitious.
Right, so that was the Bucks and Ali McCluskey. Now, next up is Wendy, so that is good news. And Wendy has been doing some numbers over this period with, sort of recording them in the house and sending them to us, and we'd kind of join them all together. And that's been good because it means we get to hear Wendy singing and to see her performing. But she has a number of occasions said how much she's missing being able to be in the same place and sing with people. So when that became allowable, I got in touch and said, how about we record a number together? And so we did. And we had a bit of back and forward about what we would sing. And we agreed that both of us are big fans of Gillian Welsh, and we hadn't done a Gillian Welsh song together, so that's what we decided to do. And so the song we did is The Way It Goes of her Harrow and Harvest marvellous album from 10 years ago. And I remembered when we started to play it that I had actually played this once before, because Elspeth Alexander, you did this number at Old Sammy's back in the day, and I played not very well, if I remember correctly, on it with you. So we had a bit more time to sit down and get it organised this time, and so that's the first number, The Way It Goes, from Wendy and me.
Mm-hmm. And then it's Dan and Christine, and Dan, I think Dan starts off this wee film clip by saying, now for a bit of Motown. Now, far be it from me to be pedantic. You know, I'm never pedantic, but I'm going to be here. It's not Motown. This is a Drifters song from the 1960s on Atlantic, not Motown. In fact, I think 1960s, is that not slightly before the birth of Motown?
Yeah.
When did Motown start? About 62 or something, 61.
Right,
so it's a Doc Pomus song, and it's Save the Last Dance for Me. And apparently the story behind this song is that Doc Pomus wrote it at his wedding while watching his new bride dance. She was a dancer and an actress, and Doc Pomus, I think he had polio and he was on crutches, so he's sitting watching the wife dancing, but she's going to go home with him. So Doc Pomus's Save the Last Dance for Me.
Johnson bought the farm, put a needle in her arm. That's the way that it goes, that's the way. And her brother laid her down in the cold Kentucky ground. That's the way that it goes, that's the way. That's the way that it goes. Everybody's buying little baby clothes. That's the way. She was busted, broken flat, had to sell that pushy cat. That's the way that it goes, that's the way. That's the way that it goes. Everybody's buying little baby clothes. That's the way that it is. Though there was a time when he and I were friends. See the brightest ones of all early in October fall. That's the way that it goes, that's the way. While the dark ones go to bed with good whiskey in their head. That's the way that it goes, that's the way. Now Billy Joe's back in the tank. You tell Rousseau, I'll tell Frank. That's the way that it goes, that's the way. leave him for that swell. That's the way that it goes. That's the way. That's the way that it goes. Everybody's buying little baby clothes. That's the way that it is. So there was a time when all of us were friends. When you lay me down to rest, leave a pistol in my vest. That's the way that it goes. That's the way. Did you miss my gentle touch? Did I hurt you very much? That's the way that it goes. That's the way. That's the way that it goes. Everybody's buying little baby clothes. That's the way that it is. So there was a time when you and I were friends.
Hi Sammys,
Hi, Sam.
Dan and Christine here. Wee bit of Motown for you. Here we go. You can dance, every dance with the guy who gives you the eye, let him hold you tight. You can smile, every smile for the man who held your hand in the pebble light. But don't forget who's taking you home, and in his arms you're gonna be. So darling, say the last dance for me. Oh, I know that the music's fine, like sparkling wine. Go and have your fun, laugh and sing. But while we're apart, don't give your heart to anyone. And don't forget who's taking you home, and in his arms you're gonna be. So darling, say the last dance for me. Darling, don't you know I love you so? I can feel it when we touch. I will never ever let you go. I love you so much. Darling, don't you know I love you so? I can feel it when we touch. I will never ever let you go. I love you so much. Oh, you can dance, go and carry on till the night is gone and it's time to go. If he asks, are you all on your own? Can he take you home? You must tell him no. And don't forget who's taking you home, and in his arms you're gonna be. So darling, say the last dance for me. And don't forget who's taking you home, and in his arms you're gonna be. So darling, say the last dance for me. Yeah, yeah, say the last dance for me. Yay! Cheers, Sammys.
Well, if you know me, you'll know I'm quite a big sort of Facebook user. I know not everybody likes it, but one of the things that I really like about Facebook is the fact that Douglas T. Stewart keeps throwing onto Facebook these songs, often from the 60s, where I was alive, but never heard these things at the time, and listened to them, and they're absolutely gorgeous. So he's just a fund of information about beautiful songs. There's never a word of negativity from Douglas. It's just always heartfelt and lovely, you know. So he's going to do a heartfelt and lovely love song just now, and you know, as we know, nobody does them better than him. It's called Look at Me, Look at You. And like the Relatives, Douglas appears to be in a kind of cartoon mode at present, although his is very much more psychedelic. So if you're of a nervous disposition, you might want to turn down the colour contrast on your TV just now. So that's Douglas T. Stewart, Look at Me, Look at You.
And then we have our pal David Hefner. David has a marvellous back catalogue, and he has been putting songs from his back catalogue up on Facebook. So if you don't know David's back work too well, you can find many of his songs up on Facebook. And it is not true or fair to say that David's songs are all doom-laden, but he says of this song that a friend heard it and said, "Oh no, not another doom-laden Hefner song." This one's called Friends of the Blues. So Douglas T. Stewart and then Dave Hefner.
Hello, thank you for having me again. I'm Douglas T. for Trouble Stewart, and today I'm going to sing an ultra-romantic song called Look at Me, Look at You. It was written by myself and my good friend Sebastian. Sebastian, I salute you. I hope you enjoy the song. I was so frightened, alone in the dark. Then you lit my way. Yes, you were the spark. Look at you. Look at you. Look at you. I was so glad when you took my hand. I was so scared. Please understand. Look at you. Look at you. Look at you. Look at me. Look at you. At you. Come here, my dear, and stand next to me. Look in the mirror and tell me what you see. Look at you, look at me, look at you, look at me. Now things are better, now things are good. I found my someone, and that someone is you. Look at you. Look at you. Look at you. Look at me. Look at you. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at you. Look at me. At you. At you. Come here, my dear, close and face me. Look into my eyes and tell me what you see. Love, love, love. Look at you, 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 look at you. Look at you, look at you, look at me.
Hello everyone, it's Sammy's. This is a little song for the Friends of the Blues. The boys and girls will tell you it's seldom straight and true. 1 and 1 is always the hardest sum to do. Go tell the news to the friends of the blues. Yeah, spread the news to the friends of the blues. I flew to Paris to see my love Jenny. She sent me a dear Jean letter on a postcard from the Seine. Go tell the news to the friends of the blues. Yeah, spread the news to the friends of the blues. I spoke in sorrow, I spoke with deep regret. She spoke in rhyming couplets, drew in a long Gauloise cigarette. Go tell the news to the friends of the blues. Yeah, spread the news to the friends of the blues. She was cycling down le Champs-Élysées sous la nuit, faire en douce l'amour en arrondissement, arrondissement, 18, 18. From Boulevard Saint-Germain she pedaled to Montmartre with Albert's letters to Maria emblazoned on her heart. Go tell the news to the friends of the blues. Yeah, spread the news to the friends of the blues. Everything holds together, then everything falls apart. In this world of snakes and ladders, you'll wind back at the start. Go tell the news to the friend of the blues. Yeah, spread the news to the friend of the blues. Je n'ai pas très bien saisi.
Okay, great stuff. So, time for another Nancy song now, and this is a great one. I think Nancy's writing is so good. I think the best of these country writers like Nancy and Steve Earle is that like they create a little short story in each song, just so vividly described and well written. And this is a great example. It's the Relatives doing Working Girl, so enjoy that.
And then we've got a number from Alice Watts in London, and she's doing a Coldplay number called Don't Panic. So it's always great to have Alice now. The thing about being online is that it's meant that we've been able to have Alice as a regular part of Sammy's. So if we get back to doing it in the Glad, the only answer, Alice, is for you to get yourself up to Glasgow on a monthly basis. So we just like to give you notice that invitation will be forthcoming.
Forget monthly, Alice. You just want to move to Glasgow. Accommodation can be quite cheap. You know, you'll have a huge amount of money when you sell the cardboard box you live in London, and you can buy a little palace up here in Glasgow. Come on.
Yep, you know, it makes sense. So, the relatives and Alice Watts.
Bones sinking like stones, all that we fought for. Homes, places we've grown, all of us are done for. We live in a beautiful world. Yes, we do. We live in a beautiful world. Ooh. We live in a beautiful world. Yes, we do. We live in a beautiful world. Ooh. All that I know, there's nothing here to run from. yes, but everybody here's got someone they can lean on.
Good stuff. So next up is Joe Smiley. Always good to get a number from Joe. And worth pointing out at this point, for those of you who don't know, that Joe has now moved on from his post at the Glad Cafe, where he, as you almost certainly know, has been one of those, along with Sarah, who's been running the place in this last while. And Joe's moved on now to, he's working at Ayr College and doing his music stuff as well. We'll still see him, he'll still be at the Glad from time to time, he'll still visit his aged parents, things like that, so we'll not lose touch with him, which is good, we like him.
And what a job he's done at the Glad. Well done, Joe.
Joe is a big fan of Nancy, and so he's done a Nancy number. This is Love at the Five and Dime.
And then we've got the beloved Ernie McClintock and his Rhythm Monkeys, and they're going to be doing that fantastic song Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. I'm sure there's a joke in there somewhere, but I've never heard it myself.
Don't go there, no.
Okay, so Joe and then Ernie.
Rita was 16 years with hazel eyes and chestnut hair. She made the Woolworth County shine. And Eddie was a sweet romancer and a darn good dancer. They was the eyes of the five and dime. And they sang, "That's a little closer to me. That's a little closer now. That's a little closer tonight. That's a little closer to me. Hey, it's closing time and love's on sale tonight at this five and dime." Eddie played the steel guitar and his mother cried, 'cause he played in the bars. And he kept young Rita out late at night. So he married up in Abilene, lost a child in Tennessee. Still their love survived. 'Cause they sang, "That's a little closer to me. That's a little closer now. That's a little closer tonight. That's a little closer to me. Hey, it's closing time and love's on sale tonight at this five and dime." One of the boys in Eddie's band took his shine in Rita's hand. So Eddie ran off with the bassman's wife. Oh, but he was back by June, singing a different tune, and sporting a sweeter bike by his side. And he sang, "That's a little closer to me. That's a little closer now. That's a little closer tonight. That's a little closer to me. Hey, it's closing time and love's on sale tonight at this five and dime." Eddie travelled with the barroom bands till arthritis took his hands. Now he sells insurance on the side. And Rita's got a house to keep. She writes dime store novels of a love so sweet. They dance to the radio late at night, and they still sing, dance a little closer to me, dance a little closer now, dance a little closer tonight, dance a little closer to me. Hey, it's closing time and love's on sale tonight at this fine night. Rita was 16 years with hazel eyes and chestnut hair. She made the Woolworth counter shine. And Eddie was a sweet romancer and a darn good dancer, and they waltzed the aisles of the 5 and 9. They waltzed the aisles of the 5 and 9.
Raindrops falling on my head, just like a guy whose feet are too big for his bed. Nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. So I just did me some talking to the sun. I said I didn't like the way he got things done, sleeping on the job. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. But there's one thing I know, the blues they send to greet me won't defeat me, and won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. Raindrops are falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Crying's not for me, no, I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining, because I'm free, nothing's worrying me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Crying's not for me, no, I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining, because I'm free, nothing's worrying me, because I'm free, nothing's worrying me, nothing's worrying me. Thank you.
So Ernie and the Rhythm Monkeys, fantastic. Now we have Jim King, and Jim has been a loyal sender in of songs during this lockdown time. You know, again, one of these people that we haven't seen a huge amount at the actual Sammys, but he's been regular during the lockdown, and the songs are all beautiful, usually written by Jim. beautifully sung, beautifully written, and beautifully played. And this is another of these. It's called The Briggers, and it's a song that Jim wrote to commemorate the ordinary working people who built the fourth railway bridge, the big cantilever bridge. Just a sort of a paean, is that the word, a paean to the suffering and the skill of the folk who built that bridge.
Unplanned, but my great-grandfather's older brother, Hamish, was a diver.
Uh-huh.
And worked in the building of the fourth rail bridge. As a diver.
This song's for him then.
What's it called, Hamish? Anyway, so at this particular bit, this is the songwriter section, you see. So I was keen that this one comes in. You know that Swan and Rachel have now got a wee hut in the wilds, and since going there regularly, Swan has rediscovered his songwriting mojo, and so the songs have been pouring from him, and
nothing else to do.
And this was one of the first ones that I heard and saw, and I think it's just fantastic. And it's called Hebron. Is it brackets? Feels like a friend. Felt like a friend.
Town feels like a friend.
Town feels like a friend. And it's about the city of Hebron in Palestine's occupied West Bank. And there's a few wee things to say about it, just to kind of make the song allow the song to make sense to you. One is that the Shankers were in the West Bank in 2016, and some of the folk, everyone apart from me, paid a visit to Hebron, and our good pal Henry Bell set that up and made an introduction to a young woman who lives in Hebron called Bayan Haddad, and Bayan welcomed everyone and showed them around and just told them all about the city. And actually Bayan is going to have been here in Glasgow, just, she's coming in a couple of days' time, and we'll be sitting in this very room, I dare say. So marhaba to Bayan. And the thing about Hebron is that it's a big city, both currently, because it's a very important Palestinian city, one of the biggest, and also a focal point of one of the major tensions between the Palestinians and the Israeli settlers. But it's also historically an interesting city, an important city, and mythologically, because it's the story, and you need to know this to understand the song in all its richness. This is the scene where the story goes, Cain killed Abel. That's meant to have happened in Hebron, or at Hebron. And it's also the sealed gates of Eden are said to be in Hebron. So it is a place just rich in culture and history and mythology, and also pulsing with political significance these days. And into this comes the Swan with his artistic vision, and he's made this wee video of the song that he wrote. So
I just felt very at home there. It reminded me of the East End of Glasgow, Hebron. Interesting.
Yeah. So Jim King, and then himself.
When they called it a revolution, capital was king. When little could escape the changes steam and rail would bring. Malignant mills and factories handed riches to the few, with poor working men and women always denied their due. But with pride and pain and passion too, briggers showed what they were worth, fashioned rock and steel and saw it through, built the finest bridge across the firth. With half a granite mountain, 60,000 tons of steel, 70 lost the lives of men for the dream to be made real. There was profit for investors, prestige for the engineers, but the briggers were the ones who paid with their blood and sweat and tears. But with pride and pain and passion too, briggers showed what they were worth, fashioned rock and steel and saw it through, built the finest bridge across the firth. Now for near 5 generations, the bridge has stood the test, both monument and witness to the worst and to the best. 12 furlongs straight from end to end, to take the railway north, for the briggers left their legacy with a bridge across the fold. And with pride and pain and passion too, briggers showed what they were worth, fashioned rock and steel and saw it through, built the finest bridge across the firth. Fashioned rock and steel and saw it through, and built the finest bridge across the firth.
The mountains of Judah gleamed white in the morning sun. The market stalls were up and the day's work was begun. We met Bayan on the corner. She said, "Welcome to my hometown." Straight away, the town felt like a friend. Town felt like a friend. She walked us down Shahara Street, where the stalls were closed and barred. The folk were warm and friendly, but the settlers made life hard. We were ordered off the rooftops by an Israeli army guard. friend. The town felt like a friend. As we walked in Hebron in the hot August sun, where Cain slew his brother in the hills above the town. 1,000 years of killing and tears on holy ground. The town felt like a friend. Too much blood, too many tears, too much hate for too many years. So much potential in this promised land. It's time for love to take hold of our hand. As we walked in Hebron, in the shadow of the wall, the gates of Eden barred and closed to us all. The fear and suspicion, what's the point of it all? The town felt like a friend. The mountains of Judah gleamed white in the morning sun. The market stalls were up and the day's work was begun. We met Bayan on the corner. She said, "Welcome to my hometown." Straight away, the town felt like a friend. Town felt like a friend. Town felt like a friend. Town felt like a friend.
Okay, a couple of numbers to finish off. Thanks for being with us tonight. It's nice to get even this amount of being together. And at the moment, well, the good news is that the venue at the Glad is opening up and has indeed had a wee thing in it just the other day. But there'll be gigs starting in September. And so we're going to see how these go, and our hope is that we'll have a version of Sammy's live in October. And we're thinking we'll have to just kind of scale it down a wee bit and maybe just have not the same range of acts that we usually have, but we'll come back to you with details about that. And so that means you have to keep an eye on either the emails that you get or the Facebook page. We'll publish it on the Sammy's at the Glad Facebook page. So, more news of that in due course.
So our last couple of performances now, and Mr. Tom Urie of Kenmure Street is one of these characters who's been keeping the whole music thing alive during the pandemic. Tom's been producing these incredible multi-tracked montaged videos of classic and very, very difficult songs that he's able to just to pull off with aplomb. So here he's sent us a song by, I think originally by the Moody Blues, and it's Forever Autumn, Tom Urie.
And then just before we do the last number, we've got some thanks to do. So we have to thank the GLAD for making this all possible in the first place. We have to thank Kim in the bar, and Joe will stay. He's still in the sound.
Probably will be.
We have to thank Blackjack, because Blackjack has stepped in to do the film editing for this episode, so that's why it is as it is, and you can post your views on that. And we'd like to thank everyone for sending their songs in for this month, and for supporting this online project over, it's a year and a half it's been going, started April last year. And finally, of course, we'd like to thank you for tuning in and supporting the whole doodah. And just taking that idea of Forever Autumn, we're going to have the final throw of summer, because we've got the Bucks rounding off the night with Summer in the City.
Enjoy the summer.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello, wonderful folks of Sammy's. It's been a while. Thanks so much for tuning in to Sammy's Online, and thanks so much to the Bucks as always for putting it all together. Anyway, I interrupt your Sammy's programme just to tell you a little bit more about the gigs that we've got coming up this year. That's right, we are reopening on the 9th of September, which is incredibly exciting. And yeah, we've got some great gigs coming up. Please do keep an eye out on our website, because we're constantly adding more to the programme, and yeah, we hope to see you along to some shows, and hopefully Sammy's in person at some point as well, so thanks.
On the 18th of September, we welcome Bajan Boy, aka Ajay Sagar, a multi-instrumentalist based in the Netherlands. He'll be supported by Scottish harpist Adenine and acoustic bassist Howie Reeve. On the 30th of September, we're delighted to be celebrating the album launch for Sterling's constant follower. The band will be releasing their album Neither Is Nor Ever Was on American indie label Shimmy Disc. The record was produced by the legendary Kramer, who's also worked with the likes of Low, Galaxy 500 and Daniel Johnston. Another highlight of our gig calendar is the forthcoming show with London-based ensemble Caroline on the 9th of October. The 8-piece band met whilst jamming out at weekly improvised sessions and bonded over shared influences, including Midwestern emo, Appalachian folk, minimalist classical, and various forms of electronic music. The mighty Alex Rex returns to the Glad Cafe on the 12th of October. Alex Rex is the project of Alex Nielsen, joined by the Glad Cafe's own Rory Hay and various guest members. Support on the night comes from the incredibly talented Spanish guitarist Victor Herrero. Scottish composer and filmmaker Adam Stafford joins us on the 15th of October in celebration of his latest release, Trophic Asynchrony, out via Song by Toad Records. Stafford is known for his intense live performances, which incorporate soul pop, post-punk avant-garde, and a cappella experimentalism. Fans of trad music should join us for this show on the 20th of October with Salthouse, a trio of extraordinary Scottish musicians including Jenny Sturgeon, singer, guitarist and harmonium player, Ewan McPherson, singer and guitarist, and Lauren McCall, singer, fiddle and viola player. On Friday the 29th of October, we have prolific cult Scottish folk singer Alistair Roberts, who Mojo described as quietly escalating towards Scottish national treasure status. For this evening, he'll offer up the uncommon songs of his 2019 record The Fiery Margin and an intimate stripped-down solo performance. Alistair will be back again on the 10th November, but this time with the group Green Ribbons. Green Ribbons is a project dedicated to the celebration of unaccompanied song. The current lineup features Debbie Armour, aka Bird Ellen, Frankie Armstrong, Alistair Roberts, and Benjamin Jinwoo Webb. Expect beautiful harmonies and epic folk storytelling. And on the 20th of November, we're really excited to be presenting members of Curl, a collective based in London, featuring the incredible composer and producer Mika Levy, songwriter, producer and MC Brother May, and vocalist, musician and DJ Kobe Say. Opening for them will be Danish composer and viola player Astrid Son. After numerous reschedules, Irish singer-songwriter Bridget May Power will finally be here on Friday the 26th of November. With comparisons drawn to Judy Sill, Sharon Van Etten and Bill Callahan, I've no doubt this will be one for the Sammy's regulars. Bird Ellen enjoyed their first ever outing with full band the Never Beyond Band on the 3rd of December. Bird Ellen is the project of Debbie Armour and features the amazing Gail Brogan. They'll be joined by Jer Reid and Rachel Newton to perform newly adapted and expansive live arrangements of their latest album, Says the Never Beyond.
The summer sun is fading as the year grows old, and darker days are drawing near. The winter winds will be much colder. Now you're not here. Watch the birds fly south across the autumn sky, and one by one they disappear. I wish that I was flying with them. Now you're not here. Like the sun through the trees, you came to love me. Like a leaf on a breeze, you blew away. Through autumn's golden gown, we used to kick our way. You always loved this time of year. Those fallen leaves lie undisturbed now, 'cause you're not here. 'Cause you're not here. 'Cause you're not here. Like the sun through the trees, you came to love me. Like a leaf on the breeze, you blew away. Through autumn's golden gown, we used to kick our way. You always loved this time of year. Those fallen leaves lie undisturbed now, 'cause you're not here. 'Cause you're not here. 'Cause you're not here.
summer in the city, back of my neck getting dirty and gritty. Being down isn't it a pity? Doesn't seem to be a shadow in the city. All around people looking half dead, walking on the sidewalk harder than a match head. But at night it's a different world. Go out and find a girl. Come on and dance all night. Just have to leave, it'll be alright. And babe, don't you know it's a pity that the days can't be like the nights in the summer, in the city, in the summer, in the city. Cool town, even in the city, dressed so sharp, looking so pretty. Cool cat, looking for a kitty, gonna look in every corner of the city. Till I'm wheezing at a bus stop, running up the stair, I'll meet you on the rooftop. But at night it's a different world. Go out and find a girl. Come on and dance all night. Just have to believe it'll be alright. And babe, don't you know it's a pity that the days can't be like the nights in the summer, in the city, in the summer, in the city. Hot town, summer in the city, back of my neck getting dirty and gritty. Being down isn't it a pity? Doesn't seem to be a shadow in the city. All around people looking half dead, walking on the sidewalk harder than a match head. But at night it's a different world. Go out and find a girl. Come on and dance all night. Just like the heat, it'll be alright. And babe, don't you know it's a pity that the days can't be like the nights in the summer, in the city, in the summer, in the city. Slam on the keys.